going on, guys? Today, as you can see behind me, I don't have my wheels on my car. Well, I just test fitted that one. So you know what that means. We are going to paint them. If you watched my last video, these wheels were actually plasti dipped here. And I walked y'all through of taking the plasti dip off and all that good stuff. So today, we're actually going to be painting these, and I'm going to walk you through the process of painting with rattle can your wheels here. So that's what we're going to be getting done today. I was just test fitting these with the gray. So these used to be gray if you didn't see my last video. These used to be gray, and they used to be plasti dipped, a bronze metalizer type. So that's what she looks like now. And I'm going to paint her the same color as my engine bay, which I'll pop the hood in a minute and show y'all. But yeah, let's get started. So here we go. Alright, so here's the materials that you'll need to start rattle canning your wheels. So what I have here, I'll start on this side. This is going to be the primer right here. So I'm going to go, after I go to wet sand it and all that, to get all the everything smooth and all that, I'm going to lay some primer on it. I got a couple cans of paint. This is actually the color of my engine bay here. So paint it with that, and you also have your sandpaper. I got the assorted pack. It goes 80 to 600. I'm gonna use the lower numbers on the rougher spots, like the curb rash right there around the rim there. Got clear here, and then I got the tape, and then some paper to tape off the tire because I'm not taking the tire off, and then I got some soap and water for when I go to wet sand the wheel. I think that's basically all you need to do your wheel. Yeah, so the first step is to start cleaning your wheel. You want to get it nice and clean, and then we'll wet sand it. So I already got the wheel clean, so now I'm going to start wet sanding it. So that's the first step in the process, and we're going to do it right now. I'm going to start on the curb rash right here. You can tell I'm using 180 grit, and I'm using a lower grit number because it's a rougher sandpaper, and I'm trying to smooth this out. I know I'm not going to completely get rid of this curb rash or anything like that. I'm just trying to smooth it out so it's not as noticeable, like right here. So this is what I'm using: 180 grit and soap and water. So, and all I'm gonna do is just sand it down so it's as smooth as I can get it, so it's not that noticeable. And then once I get these areas, I'll probably bump up to maybe 400 or 600 grit because this is all smooth. And from there, I'll just sand the whole wheel with 400 or 600. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna use yet, but once you get that whole wheel sanded, once I get that done, we'll move on to the next step.
Ryan Litzel.
Alright, so I just got done sanding just the curb rash here. If you can tell, it's nice and smooth. It's kind of hard to see because this is actually bare metal right here, shiny in the sun. You can still see a couple nicks here, but this is a whole lot better than what it was before. It was really choppy and rigid here, but now it's pretty much smooth for the most part, except for the deep gouges here. And then I worked on this one here. I got that one smooth, besides the little indent right here, because that's a pretty deep gouge. But other than that, that's the basic concept of doing this. I did use 180 grit, like I said before, to sand this down and get it as smooth as I could. And then this side as well. Now I'll move on to this. I'm probably leaning more towards 600 because all this surface area is smooth and it's fairly decent and smooth already. So I don't really need to go down and sand a lot of that off. So I'm just getting that smooth enough just so I can lay some primer on it. And that's one other reason why I'm not too worried about this. I did get a higher build primer, so it's supposed to fill in spots a little better. And of course it's not going to completely take all this away, but it'll help hide these blemishes here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sand this down, wet sand this with 600, and we'll jump to the next step in the process. So this is what your wheel should look like once you're done sanding it. And you can see the wheel was red before it was painted gray, and then you can see all the other layers on it. But it should look something like this. And it should all feel smooth. So you can run your hand back over it, and then make sure you have all spots you're going to paint smooth. And that's what I have here. I got it all smooth. I even did inside here and right here. I didn't focus too much on the lug holes here or the centering here, because all that's going to be covered up and basically pointless to get in there, because it's going to get chipped up anyway because of your lugs and all that. But I focused on the face of it and then the insides here, and that's what I did for that. The next step is to clean your wheel off now. So you want to wash it off again and then dry it. Make sure you don't have any more soap or the suds or anything like that on here. When you do that, it's gonna look cloudy again because you sanded the clear off. But so you want to wash it, and then once you wash it, that's when we're going to lay the primer. So I'm going to go ahead and wash this and get this ready for primer. Alright, so right now I just cleaned off the wheel here. I'm waiting on my air compressor, as you can hear in the background, to build up some air. I'm going to spray it off to speed up the process of the wheel drying. So this is what she looks like. That. You see there's still water on it. I'm just using the air compressor to blow it off. So after I do that, then we're going to lay some primer on it, and after that we'll go from there. Okay, so before we actually primer it, we need to tape off the tire, also your valve stem here, and you can see I actually started already. I did half the wheel. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to tape the inside part, and then where's my pieces of paper? I got just regular copy paper. I cut it up into thirds, and I'm just going to stick it in here like this, under my lip or under right there. Get it sit right there. And go all the way around. I cut it into thirds just so you can go around the wheel easier. You just go like that, stick it in there, and then since it's windy outside today, I'll probably tape it to the tire down here so they won't fly off, and then that protects your tire from overspray. Another way you can do that is getting something oily like tire shine or something like that and coat the tire. The paint won't stick to that, and then you can wipe it off. I don't really like that or trust that too much, but that's another way you can do it. So yeah, I'm gonna finish taping this up. Then I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done, and then after we tape this up, we can go ahead and primer it. So this is what it looks like all taped up. Here you go down here. Can't really see. So I just stuck them in the lip here, brought them down, and taped them around so the wind won't blow them away. It sucks the wind's blowing a little bit because I don't want anything to fly on the paint when I paint it, but I have no other choice. So now we got that, we got this taped up, we got the tire taped up. I'm ready for primer here. And when you paint, the directions back here say there's a specific temperature range that you need to paint in. This is from 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 95. It is currently low 70s, I think, right now. I've been letting these cans sit out in the sun for probably a little over an hour now, so they're all warmed up. If you're doing this in the cold, like colder towards 60 degrees, you might want to get a warm bucket or something like that. Throw these in there for a couple minutes just so the bottle's warmed up. But I got these all warmed up by the sun, and yeah, we're ready to lay down some primer, so let's do it. Alright, so I got the first coat down. As you can see, it's just a light coat. You can still see color and all that through it. It's just a light coat. I think I'm gonna maybe do 2 or 3, I'm not sure. I gotta see after this coat, after this dries, I'm gonna wait about 10, maybe 15 minutes. And then after this dries, I'm gonna lay a thicker coat on and see how that looks. If I feel like I need to do another one, I will. If not, then I won't. So 2 to 3 coats of primer, and then after that, I'll let those dry, and then we'll move on to clear. So I did the second coat, and I laid the second coat a lot heavier than the first coat. I think I'm only going to do 2 coats. So if you can tell, this is really thick. I got it all nice and on there. And right here, you can see a little nicks here, but that's where the old curb rash used to be, but it looks a whole lot better now. And yeah, so this is pretty much dry now. The only thing I'm gonna go next is the paint. And for the paint, I'm thinking I'm gonna do 3 or 4 coats of paint on there. I'm not sure yet. So the first coat I'm gonna do really light. It's not gonna have complete coverage. The second coat I'm gonna do a little heavier. Third coat a little heavier, and then maybe a 4th coat if I need to. So that's what I'm gonna do next. So after you get your primer, we're gonna paint it, let those dry about 10-15 minutes in between. Then after that, we're gonna move on to our clear, and our clear is where I'm gonna lay down pretty heavy because I just want to have a protective coat over that, and the clear is gonna serve kind of as my protective coat. So with that said, let me go ahead and get to painting.
Yeah.
Alright, so first coat complete. It's a light coat like we did on the primer. See there. So far it's turned out really good. And this is again the same color as my engine bay, and I actually used the same rattle can, or not the same rattle can, but same color for the engine bay. So that's how she looks. Probably gonna put 2 more coats. I'm probably going with 3 because this laid down pretty well. So I'm gonna do 1 more heavy coat and then another heavy coat after that, and that should be good, and then we can do clear. But yeah, that's how she looks after the first coat. Alright, I'm gonna let her dry and then we'll move on to the next one. Alright, so this is the 3rd and final coat I'm doing. I just got done spraying it, so it's still a little wet, but that's how she looks. She's looking really good. So yeah, now we get to let her dry, and then we get to move on to clear, and the same process with the clear, same temperature range and everything. So clear, you gotta be real careful because clear likes to run. So we'll probably put 3 coats as well, maybe 4 depending on how it lays. So yeah, I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes, let this dry, and then we'll get the clearing. So we got the first coat laid down, just like all the others. We just did a light coat. And for clear, we're gonna do a couple light coats and then 1 or 2 heavy coats. So I'll probably do 1 more light coat and then 1 or 2 more heavy coats. So yeah, so she's looking. She's starting to shine now. Got a little bit of clear on her. We're gonna lay a couple thick ones just so we got a little extra protection. But other than that, that's how she's looking. Alright, just laid the last coat of clear. She's looking really good. So I did 2 coats of lightly and then 2 coats of heavy. So a total of 4 coats here, and now she has a nice shine to her. All the way around. So, yep, that's basically it. And I'm gonna let this dry for a couple minutes. And if you have any spots here, you can always lightly wet sand them. So you gotta be careful when you do that though, because this isn't heavy clear like you would out of a spray gun or something like that, but it has enough where it gives you that shine. But yeah, that's all it is to it really. And after I let it dry, I'm gonna take this all the way around off the paper, and that's it. So yeah, and I wouldn't suggest doing anything really with it for about a day. Let it all dry and cure, but other than that, that's it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. That's all I got. So if you follow these steps, you can get your wheels painted. Not too bad. Overall, I spent maybe $60 or $70 on all the equipment, or all the cans and stuff like that. So it's not that bad if you want to paint your wheels. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time.